There it goes. Fucking hell. Why the hell is that getting so much longer? How's it going, boys? This is RMTS 136. It's been a bit, I guess a week, because my kids ended up having vacation. So I'm sure you guys didn't want to hear them running around and screaming. So we're here a week later than what we expected to be. But we got Mint with us this week. She wanted to come on and hang out. We were actually supposed to work on a video this week, and that's got pushed off to next week. So that's exciting. How the hell have you been, Burles?
Sweet.
Mint?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Not too
I'm
bad.
I'm
Tired.
chilling. Yeah, the reason why I wasn't able to have my camera the last time was I had an idea of like moving everything out of my room and then rebuilding like my rooms, kind of like moving back into my house, and that's gonna be a lot of energy. It kind of like refreshes everything if you've just been in the same place for 4 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you moving like furniture around and such.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I like moving furniture around. Really helps
I
to
s-
liven up the space.
Yeah, exactly.
it
I
makes
have
me
energy.
it's the one autistic thing that I absolutely do every 6 months. Like guaranteed, I have to change at least 2 rooms around in my house, or I feel like everything is the most boring thing in the world.
I think I switch everything in my house like maybe every 2 or 3 months. Like I just switched around my bedroom. Just I put a little curtain up. I have my bedroom in my living room, by the way. I mean, my
I was
bed in
gonna
my
do
living
that.
room.
I was contemplating doing that actually. I was like, the only hard part is you walk into my living room. So if I put my bedroom in my living room, that could end up really fucking bad.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I kind of have like a whole room before the living room, so it's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, I was gonna put my living room in the bedroom that I'm in now. So the kids in every place that they would be other than the kitchen would be upstairs, and that I thought was nice because then I could just kind of segment it. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna put my office in my bedroom downstairs. That could end up really bad. Last thing I need is, people walking in
Oh
from
yeah,
outside, not even just walking in the room.
Yeah.
No doors to a bedroom kind of sucks.
that's true. That is the one benefit of a bedroom. I mean, I do like open floor plan, just having so much space around me
Mm-hmm.
as I sleep. I'm like hugged. I have my bed hugged into like the corner, and then I can see the entire house from where I'm at. Like I can see the entry points of the house. So I guess that's a reason to put your bed
Yeah.
in the living room. But if you want privacy, yeah, it makes sense to put it in the bedroom.
The
It's just me
worst
living
place,
here.
yeah, the worst place that I've had with a bed is we were living in a gated community at this point. My bedroom was all the way up on the top floor, and I had a big ass room. I don't even understand why we did this. We pushed the bed all the way into the corner of the room,
Hmm.
and somehow I got pushed into sleeping in the corner where the ceiling wasn't flat; it was fucking angled. So I
Oh,
couldn't even sit up in bed, and I ended up getting pushed all the way against the wall, both walls. And then my wife at the time was sleeping on top of me, and I had a panic attack and a nightmare at the same exact time. And
oh
I
god.
freaked the fuck out as I was being crushed into the wall. It was not a very delightful thing.
Oh yikes. That sounds what? That sounds bad. Why did they make those slanted things? Like I had a closet that was slanted, and if it wasn't slanted, I would have had a pretty big closet, like a walk-in closet when I was like younger. But
Yeah,
because it was just cut the entire space in half, just like that.
both
Why
of
did they
the
do that?
upstairs bedrooms did that shit on both sides. Uh,
Yeah.
a lot of it's New York because of the fucking snow, but it's fucking retarded.
Oh, it's horrible when you're like touring houses. Like this house is great. It's like let's show the master bedroom. And it's only like a third of a bedroom, and then the rest of it's just cut off on the slants. Why?
Yeah.
Like when I go to buy a house, it's gonna be like, yeah, every room has to be 7.5 foot tall, just so that way I can feel comfortable. I don't feel like a midget in this house.
I got really lucky with the high ceilings here. Like I think the ceilings here are like 10 feet tall. They're pretty tall. It's great, but it's also like hard to decorate tall ceilings. I don't know if you've ever like decorated a tall ceiling before, like with LED strips or something.
No, I'm
That's
a
what I have
dude. I
all
don't care
around.
about that stuff.
Yeah, I would figure.
I can
You
reach
got some
most
fancy.
ceilings.
You got a fancy background going on over there. Nice aesthetics.
Thanks. This is a felt poster. I'm feeling it now, and now I've felt it. Even
Are
when
those
Skyford does the posters,
are those the fuzzy posters from like back
yes,
in the day
yeah,
when
these
you
are
would be like a kid
specifically
and you would color in?
yeah, yeah, like it's like the nostalgia vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
These specifically are Ethan Van Sciver. These are like black light posters too, so they
Oh,
glow.
that's cool as hell.
They glow in like blue light. It's pretty neat.
Mhm.
I would be afraid to put blue light in my bedroom. That'd be a fucking bad choice.
I have so many colors in my bedroom. Like, I think I sleep to red or off, but like all
Red-
of the
Isn't red
windows
calming?
are like
Isn't
blacked
that what
out.
it is? Yeah. Mine are
What
too.
was that?
I said, isn't red supposed to be calming and blue you're not supposed to
Yeah.
have or something like that?
So it's red is easiest on the lights because of the length of the wavelength, and blue apparently it's supposed to make like if you are under blue light, it's supposed to make you calmer, and it's also used in high crime areas. I've noticed to like ward off crime. They're doing this in Japan. They've done this at like a few rest stops, but only in Ohio of all places. Like this is the only place I've seen with like blue lights on the rest stops. I think they're starting to implement more blue lights just in general.
Well, I think that's a lot of the switch to LEDs and shit like that. So many of the lights before it was yellow and shit, and it kind of all looked horrible. You look at back in the day pictures, everything's fucking yellow and it looks like somebody pissed all over everything. You go back to looking at Call of Duty Ghost, everything's fucking yellow. It's gross. Lighting was
So
weird back in the day. It was all bad.
I mean, I guess I would imagine it would be hard to create something colorful, and like the only color you got is yellow. Like why yellow specifically?
That's a sodium lamp.
Oh, and that's like that's the color that sodium gives off when it's heated up. Okay.
I loved fucking with people that would start working at Advanced Auto and call them and be like, "Yeah, I need blue headlight fluid," and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah, well, you have never bought blue headlight fluid. You must not be able to see.
Blue headlight fluid?
Yeah,
That's so
Right.
funny.
they get so fucking confused. They're like, "Sir, there's no blue headlight fluid." Well, do you have
Then
blinking
why is
fluid?
mine
You need to
yellow?
refill that too.
Mhm.
Everybody gets so fucking confused. Especially back in the day
boy.
when nobody knew what LED lights were. Everybody was fucking retarded. I swear.
How
was
new
bad.
are LED lights?
The strips are probably like 5 years old, 10 years
No,
old.
whoa,
like-
nah. It's been longer than that, but like they've been more commercially viable because they used
Yeah.
to be a lot more expensive than LED bulbs for just like regular lighting.
It was like
Probably like
20
15 years.
years. Yeah, something like that.
15, 20.
Huh. I mean, I guess I remember incandescence when I was really young, but all I remember is LED lights
Mhm.
growing up in like the schools and such.
I was just
So
telling my daughter about the fucking squiggly light bulbs and how fucking scary they used to be. I don't know if this was an everybody thing, but we were playing we were throwing a kickball back and forth in the living room as my cousin was babysitting us. And I was very, very, very overly competitive, and somebody threw it a little too hard at me, so I threw it really fucking high, and they had to run and dive to catch it. But I hit the fucking light bulb, and it exploded, and all the
Oh.
powder and the glass went all over the floor.
Mhm.
My daughter's like,
Yikes.
"How'd that even happen?" I was like, "That's why we don't play with balls in the living room. There's a fucking $1,000 TV there. There's computer. You know, you don't play balls in the living room. That's why. You don't want to make shit explode all over the floor." It's like,
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. Like all the glass pieces everywhere. Was it carpet or hardwood?
oh, it was carpet. It was
Oh
it was
god,
horrible.
how do you clean that up?
You don't.
You don't. You vacuum the best you possibly can. You sweep and hope that it's good and nobody cuts their feet, and then you
The
move a
weird
couch over
thing-
top of it.
Yeah, the weird thing about those bulbs is like they're incredibly fragile. Like you just tap them wrong and then they just explode. And they also have the mercury in them.
Oh.
And everybody treated them like they were fucking hyper toxic, like it was a Chernobyl explosion whenever they blew up. It's
Go
fucking
full screen.
hilarious.
Dog's bothering me.
Yep, I got you. There you go.
Oh, hello, dog. That's such a cute dog. What type of dog is that?
She's a husky.
Husky. That's the calmest husky I've ever seen.
Yeah, she likes bothering me, but she's pretty chill.
Oh, well that's.
She'll walk
a
up,
lucky
slap
dog.
the shit out of them, talk, and then run away, and then do the same thing over and over again. It's hilarious.
Mhm. Yeah, but very quiet.
But yeah,
Very
they
required.
legitimate. I remember so badly how they treated those things like fucking Chernobyl explosions. It was so bad. They're like, oh, don't ever go near them when they explode. And then you see all these dipshits on fucking line using them in wrestling, smacking them over each other's backs. Like,
Ugh.
yeah, oh, don't do that. No, we just have light pole matches, and there's thousands of them we're gonna break. Makes
That
no
sounds
sense.
dangerous. I mean, that's mercury. Like, how much mercury are we talking? Like,
I
lethal
have
amounts?
no idea.
No, not a crazy amount, but definitely not an amount you want to breathe in if it breaks.
Ooh, yikes. Does mercury leave the system? Can you, like, build it
Slowly?
up?
Because I know people get mercury poisoning if they eat too much sushi.
The CFLs contain 4 milligrams of mercury.
And
I don't know.
that's.
I don't know how much is
I'm
a
seeing
safe
how much is
amount of
toxic.
mercury.
Yep. 200 milligrams is toxic.
Okay.
So,
But
okay.
yeah. I think the problem is it's like aerosolized, though. So, like, you breathe
Yeah.
it in and it absorbs a lot better. It's
And
not
Also
good.
gonna damage your lungs too.
I guess you're not supposed to have more than 3 months worth of exposure to mercury either. So I guess there's also that, which is probably why they stopped using
Wait,
them everywhere.
3 month? Like, what does
Like
that mean?
you're not supposed to be exposed to it for a longer period of time. Deaths
Oh,
have
like
resulted from
continuously?
3 months of exposure. Yeah.
Okay.
So who the hell knows at what point that is dangerous? But yeah,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
guess there were 500 milligrams of mercury and 4 milligrams of mercury in the tubes. The older thermometers have 500 milligrams.
Well,
I, re- I remember my fucking science teacher in 8th grade. His name was Sandy Clemens. He used to
Hmm.
pour the shit into his hand and he would sit there and play with it like a fucking dipshit.
wha- like
He'd be like, yeah,
mercury?
guys, look, I can do this. You guys can't. I'm like, okay,
Did he
then why
have
the fuck are you
cancer by
doing it?
his end of his life?
I don't even know if he's dead. I would assume he's dead because he was like 80. And he used to,
Jeez.
this is the only teacher I've ever heard of getting away with this. He would use cough drops and eat them the entire day, every day, and pull a flask out of his science coat pocket, chug as much of it as he could as the kids were walking in, hide it, and go back to eating cough drops.
Hmm.
Same fucking
That's
teacher. He told me I was never going to amount to anything, that I was just going to work at McDonald's for the rest of my life.
huh.
And we're one step above that with this podcast, so take
Yeah.
that.
Just
Exactly.
one
I'm
step
making
above.
more than McDonald's just from this podcast. Fuck yeah.
that
Fucking hell. It's just
sounds
so fucking stupid.
insane.
Yeah. No, he was one of the most weird fucking teachers I've ever seen. And the fact his name was Sandy made it even funnier because, you know, in 8th grade, all of the jokes are about how you have sandy ass cheeks and sandy nut sacks, and the teacher's just pissing you off. And
Yeah.
there's lots of puns.
You know what's interesting? Like, I didn't really have too many weird teachers. I think the only one that I could really think of, like science-wise, I had a science teacher. He said that he started to have his hair gray when he was like 25. His hair just started to gray. So by the time that I like had him as a science teacher, he was like in his late 30s, but he looked 50. He looked really old, and he was like, I'm like, oh, that was the thing. You can just gray when you're 25.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend in high school. He was a grade lower than me, and he had the weirdest hairline I've ever seen on a teenager. He had
Mm-hmm.
he had a unicorn patch, and everything else was balding
Oh, yikes!
at 14, and it
That's
hasn't gotten
unfortunate.
better. It looks horrible.
Does he
I
just
think
shave it? You just go bald
he
at
did
that point.
sometimes. He took 2 of his cousins to prom because he thought it would look better if he brought 2 females that were older than 18 to prom, which made it even more confusing.
All right, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's why would an 18-year-old wait? Were they seniors?
No,
An
no,
18?
I never even met these people before, and I haven't seen them since in my life. They just
Well, that
came
is
to
really
prom with
weird.
him and then just disappeared.
Just a little cool. Wow, that is. I if I saw that, if I went to prom, I never went to prom. If I saw that at prom, I would be like, what is up with this? You don't look cool at all. Actually, you look it's kind of weird. Why are they hanging out
Imagine
with
the
you?
the 250-pound IT guy walking in with 2 7s, and you're like, what the fuck is this? You're
I'm
balding.
just
You
that
look like you're
cool.
35. Makes
Yep.
no fucking sense.
If it comes out that they're your cousins, it's over. You never come back from that one.
Exactly. Oh, they're 25. Fuck. You lose. Speaking of 25, how many years back is this new fucking Pokemon game, man? Because I don't fucking understand where it's placed. I don't get it. What the fuck is this? This whole
Which new
Legends
Pokemon
idea.
game?
I guess
Did
they
you watch
just
the Pokemon
launched.
Presents this morning?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've been doing other things.
All right. Are you a Pokemon fan?
Yeah, I like Pokemon.
See, like, this is the weird thing because that's my job. You know, my YouTube channel is based on the new Pokemon games and stuff.
All right.
So when I talk to people, everyone knows Pokemon. Everyone loves Pokemon. Everyone's played Pokemon. You have a Pikachu plush because I've seen that in a couple of your videos.
Yeah.
So someone's connected to it in every way. But that's like, we just had the biggest news drop. Today is the anniversary of Pokemon. February 27th. That's Pokemon Day.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that's what I mean. Like, people are just like, oh, wait, what? And then we get a big trailer because they do, like, their Nintendo Direct, but Pokemon Direct. So then we got a new
Alright.
game announcement, and it was Pokemon Legends.
How close is that to the last game? What was the last game? I don't remember what it was called.
So we had
Something
Scarlet
Pokemon
and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet.
Okay, Violet.
And
I
then-
played.
Before that, we had Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I do remember seeing gameplay of that, and overall, it wasn't. Well, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, people didn't really like the gameplay in that, like the controls and such.
Yeah, it was garbage. But then
Okay.
Game Freak decided, like, oh, Pal World is eating our lunch. Let's go and do another Pokemon Legends. And that was the announcement. So, no new game this year so far. 2025 is when we're getting Pokemon Legends in Kalos. So, Pokemon X and Y, but with Pokemon Legends Arceus theming, it's garbage. I hate it.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, is there ways they could improve upon the idea of Arceus? I mean, I think they did with Scarlet and Violet. They just made it all open world.
Yeah.
So I think
See, that's
that is
probably,
the
like,
way to go.
Pokemon Legends was like a failed tech demo, is what it played like. And anyone that played Generation 4, Diamond and Pearl, the lore didn't make sense. Like, it's the Sinnoh region, not the Hisui region. So, like, nothing came together, and now it's the same thing with Kalos, what Zach was talking about. Like, speaking of 25 years, they didn't give us a date. They're like, okay, here's the legend of the Kalos region, but there's no time frame. So we can't even know if it's going to be good, if it's going to have good lore,
And
it's just a weird announcement.
In the super nitty gritty bullshit of it, there's a character that's like 3,000 years old
Mhm.
that uses this mass extinction weapon, and we're going to the major city, and that's the only place in the entire map that's available. But we don't have a timeline, and the timeline is like futuristic Paris.
I do remember Kalos. Now that I'm thinking
Mhm.
about it, I'm like, oh yeah. The thing that I liked about my copy of X, sorry to like go a little bit off.
No, definitely.
No,
I
you're
talk Pokemon, figure out how you
Alright,
fit
my
into
favorite
this.
My favorite thing is when they had those like, was it tree houses? Like you could have a tree house, you could put some sort of like, I forget what it's called.
Secret
exactly.
base.
Yes,
Yep.
secret base, and you can just customize your secret base. And I thought that was a really cool feature, and I really liked the customization, like clothing customization and hair stuff. I thought that was awesome. The thing, was it this one or the next one where they introduced adding types to, like, whether something is super effective or not effective within the battle, thing? Was
They've
that
always
first
had like the
generation?
type effectiveness.
Yeah, but like it showed you if you caught that Pokemon. and
Oh,
you were
yeah.
going up against something, it would show you what it's weak against.
Yeah, I think that was
in
X and Y.
battle. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, I know what you're talking
did
about
not
now.
set it
like.
next to your moves too, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I didn't like that because at that point, I had started playing Pokemon, in Diamond. I was playing Diamond and then played Soul Silver. So by the time that I got to playing learning X and Y, because they had like a new fairy type, and I was learning like the type effectiveness chart. Like I had that all memorized. I still have that all memorized. You know, And then they introduce like, oh, well now you can know what the enemy's weak against. I'm like, no, that just took away my advantage.
Yeah, the easy
What?
mode of it. It's kind of lame.
Yeah. So lame.
Yeah, I do competitive Pokemon, so when you look at something that's like, oh, that's a rock ground type, no one knows that it has like rock as a secondary typing except for me, so I know all the type matchups. Very rewarding. And then you look at it, it's like, oh, now I just have to look and I just press the button. And now other people are harder to beat because they're not stupid. Great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm very good when it comes to defeating NPCs because it's just easy. They always have some sort of like the same type unless it's like the Elite Four. Then they have like different types if it's a champion. But like, they always like follow some sort of type so you know which Pokemon to use when you interact with them. But like I always was really good with the NPC stuff. The fighting other trainers though, that I never got to do much of, but I was not the best at. Like somehow people are better at Pokemon than me, and then I'm like, wow, I actually suck at Pokemon. I thought I was good, and then like people really get into Pokemon like these IV stuff. I'm not really into that personally.
Oh, that's me. That's all my guides. I'm like, hey, here's how you beat up on people like you. Where it's like, if you don't know what an EV is, you're like, oh, my favorite Pokemon's Vaporeon. It's like, no, that's not what EV training is. IVs, all that stuff, breeding, it's over if you don't know any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I liked my favorite part of battling was like the type, the figuring out like which types were effective against other types, and then once I learned about the breeding and the IVs, I was like, this is too much, and I got like I'm not going to spend time breeding Pokemon. Like that's just something that I wouldn't do. But I would find I would like look for shinies or get an action replay, get some shinies from Gen 5, do the Pokebank, put them in Gen 6. Bam, I got shinies in X. That's how I did it, and then I'll trade with people and get like legendaries. Awesome.
Boo cheating.
Haha. I whatever. I don't really play much anymore. I don't have like an action replay.
It's really interesting to see exactly what they're going to do with a game that is just one city.
Yeah.
That
so
is
this
going
Legends
to be the
game
shit
is
that's
only in
fucking weird.
Lumios, the one with the Eiffel Tower. That's the only location for this Legends game. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's weird.
That was
the
what,
point
3
would
maps?
the open worldness.
Exactly. Nope.
Yeah.
Pokemon's
that
dead.
entire map was what, 3 maps in X and Y? There was one for the north part, one for the south part, and then one for the center.
Yeah, there's
right?
3 dexes and a lot of exploration.
So as a whole, that's going to be it's going to be one map that's literally fucking. It's got to be the smallest game. It's got to be even smaller than the amount of space that you're able to use in games like the original trading card game from like 1995, 1996.
I think they can open up a bit more than that.
Oh, they probably will. They have to.
Yeah,
But
they're going to force it. It's going to be weird.
Just that city. Yeah.
That's our Pokemon rant.
I hope they have some sort of like grooming, like in the Arceus game. Like you can groom your Pokemon.
Yeah, I could see it because you already have the Furfru.
Yeah.
X and Y, you could style your frou-frou. Let's just hope that they don't make them a tan outfit with red armbands.
Oh no.
Because 1945 Paris. So speaking of places and things that you would want to put in a Pokemon game, or movies, or whatever story you would want to put in a Pokemon game, or any other game like that, there's a lot of fucking ideas. And Verlis was just doing a video about a whole bunch of AI stuff with Pokemon and different stories and places and stuff. I would really like to see a dark, gritty Gotham Pokemon game. Like,
that'd be really cool.
We have Pal World.
I mean,
but that's not a dark, gritty city. That's just a fucking open
like,
field.
Yeah.
That's like Zelda Pokemon.
Yeah.
I want Batman Pokemon. Like take a gold.
Like if they did the sewers properly inside of the entire fucking map.
Yeah. Make it all city. Like make it like the big city in Unova. I forget what it's called. But just that. Like that's
actually bigger than Lumios.
Yeah, so much. Like I want a GTA big style Pokemon map. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, technically, that's like what people are saying that are defending this Legends game. They're like, well, GTA is all in one city and that's decent, but it's like, how do you make Lumios into something that rich?
It's not that
I guess,
big.
like, they could try, and if they do, it'd be cool. But then it's also with Pokemon Legends feelings, so like older history. I think it's too distracted. Like they're not going to make the decisions that need to be made to make it like the Gotham Pokemon experience or something.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be dark. We know it's going to be light and airy, like the Japanese art style from that game. What was that called? From like the early 2000s, Okami or something like that.
Mm.
It's very like arty and like pastel-y and light. Like that's exactly how Arceus was. So I don't expect this one to be any different from that. I don't
They
expect
didn't show
it
us
to be
gameplay. They
technologically.
just gave us concepts.
Yeah, it's not going to be tech. It's not going to be in the future. Why the fuck would it be Legends then? So as a whole, it has to be kind of light. I don't see this as anything.
We're in the 1980s building Lumios. Fun. And we're locked into Lumios as a city planner
1980s. Let's just hope they don't go 1945. I promise you, if Japan goes 1945, it's going to be really funny. They have a very, very, very big bad chance right here. That if they just push it a little bit too far.
History. They should do history Pokemon. Take us to the past. Show us what it was like as Pokemon. What were Pokemon doing in World War One? That is what I want.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. What if they actually did tell the story of history through Pokemon? Would you play that game instead of Legends?
People would, but they just couldn't.
No, would you?
But I play that instead of Legends personally. I don't know. That feels like not enough Pokemon. Like too much not like Pokemon for me.
No, but like because they haven't ever told us that the history of the Pokemon world isn't the same as the real world. It's kind of disconnected enough to where they don't have to. But if they actually told us, oh, well, everything's happened. We're just renaming the places. So
I wouldn't like that.
Seen as different.
I like Pokemon being its own thing. With its own history.
I'm just saying, like, history-wise, it would be interesting to see. Because, like, you have Surge, who fought in a massive war. Never saw that shit.
I don't want that to be like World War I or Nam or something.
Or it's definitely like the Pokemon world. Like it can just be self-contained within the lore itself. Like it'd be set in the past of the Pokemon world. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
That's where they should go with Legends instead of
Arceus.
Legends.
God damn it! Yeah. That's what they tried to do. They didn't do it right.
No, they went back to feudal times and said, okay, we're samurais again.
And then X and Y was like the 3,000-year-old war with the ultimate weapon. And then it's like, okay, I don't want to go and like play that out though.
I do have a really serious question. How is the ultimate weapon a butt plug that comes out of the ground and shoots out a laser? That sounds very 3,000 years in the future, not 3,000 years in the past.
Where does that beam come from? Like, the core of the planet?
They use the legendaries.
Those light up butt plugs that we...
Well, that was the story of X and Y. The bad guy with the crazy red hair. He was harnessing the power of legendaries to build the ultimate weapon again, and then kill everyone.
Like, they would have,
and then
like,
he became Spider-Man,
shoot a beam or something? Is that what they would do?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yep. Yeah, Y was destruction, X was life. Right?
Oh,
I got that lore
correct. Like that.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Now I'm visualizing the cover of the X with Xerneas, and I'm like, okay, because she's like a
deer.
Deer, yeah.
Yep.
Like a deer with like a deer elk, I guess, with the horns.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's a good one.
So
then Yveltal was the death.
Yeah.
Yeah, the why. Why would I want to kill everybody? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
What atmosphere would you want, bud? For Pokemon? What atmosphere is it? Just post-apocalyptic?
I just like our Pokemon chill adventures that we get that aren't stupid. Like, just give me Soul Silver again. Give me that.
Yeah.
Let me run around and have fun in the region.
That game?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand.
Exactly. We need a Nintendo Switch Pokemon Soul Silver remake. That's all that needed to be announced today, but we didn't get it, so I'm very mad.
Logically, if they made Legends in like the base setting of like Soul Silver, but like just reskin it for every game, like just give it a new tile set, and that's Legends. Like going back to play old sprite style game.
I don't trust it.
But would that sell?
No. Like,
And then
I
you
want
have current 3D for mainline titles.
no, I want it updated. I want 3D Soul Silver.
Oh, I would love that too. I'm just saying, like, if they're gonna keep the title of Legends and just used it as like
No,
sprite,
they need
and,
to
like,
kill
throwback,
Legends.
I think
Legends
it's
cannot
dead,
be
too.
saved.
Ugh.
No, I really liked the Pokeball Walker with Soul
Oh yeah, that was
Silver.
hype.
Yeah,
I have
wish they
mine
just had that again.
nearby.
Oh, I
You
lost
would have it
mine.
nearby. I'm surprised you don't have it on your necklace. For the first
I
2 or
used
3
to.
times, that I was gonna say that's what I thought was on your necklace for a bit.
No, it's just a regular tag.
Yeah, I thought it was the Pokewalker, and I was like, "Oh, look, I know what that is," and nobody else does. Then I saw it reflect something at some point. So
Miss it.
obviously, you blew up, growing so fucking quickly from one fucking video. You gained 20 million views from a fucking video about people not watching Star Wars.
Yeah, I did do that.
Is there any other huge movie series that you would tell people not to watch like Star Wars with that much?
Oh god, the Mission Impossible series. I mean, the first one, and the first one's good. The second one's okay, and then the rest of them just are excuses for Tom Cruise to jump out of a plane or whatever he wants to do stunt wise. And there's not really much movie. I mean, there's not really much story within the movie
But
of Mission Impossible.
that's entertainment. It's like
Yeah.
saying, would I watch Taken 2? After Taken 1, if you get taken again, you're kind of a shitty person at that point.
Yeah.
You
I
might
shouldn't have
be
done that.
you might be retarded.
Cool choker. Pokewalker choker.
Zach said it, and I was like, well, I can make this happen.
Yeah, I
Very
could have
cool.
swore that's what it was before. I really could have.
Now, I got this custom made. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's like online or like somebody did it.
It was at a FurCon.
Oh, like you went to a convention. They did a custom at the convention.
Yeah, they had like a
Okay.
CNC machine, and they were actually like milling out custom tags for all the furries out there.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like $10. I was like, this works. This is cool.
That is pretty neat. That makes sense. Now I see it's a collar. I was like, got it at a FurCon. Makes 100% sense now.
I think I
Okay.
pulled it
Yeah,
off.
Yeah,
I
you
was
do.
sitting here after I got out of the shower, and I was like, I have a furry and a cosplay girl going on the podcast at the same time. The level that there is jokes and everything else in this situation is really, really fucking funny. There's so many jokes, and it's so great.
Yeah, it's cool.
So many little things that could connect and everything else. It's fucking fantastic.
I
But yeah,
like dogs. Dogs are cool. What's your favorite dog breed? That was like a total non sequitur. Now I just thought about dogs, and then you mentioned.
I have a
furries.
husky right there.
Is that your
She's
favorite
cool.
dog breed?
Yeah,
Cool.
big floofy wolf thing.
Yeah.
I was
like.
gonna get a Pomsky a couple years ago.
What's a
they're fucking
Pomsky?
A Pomeranian and a husky that fucked,
Oh.
and those puppies. I have essentially the same exact fucking thing, except it's a Cuban version of it. It's called a Havanese.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like a little retarded fucking midget husky. It's hilarious. For the
Aw, I
first
don't have a
8 years
dog.
of his life, he didn't bark at all. And then I got a beagle wiener dog, and now he never shuts the fuck up because of anxiety.
Huh.
Great.
That's so weird. I've
Yeah.
never encountered that before. I've had a few dogs. I don't have a dog currently, but I think the last dog that I had, the last 2 dogs I had, German Shepherd, and I had a German Shepherd Poodle mix. It's called a Shepadoodle, I think it was called. It was pretty. It was
I haven't seen or
It was
heard
smart.
of those.
okay. So it's like one of those big poodles, big poodles, not the tiny ones, but big poodle, and then a German Shepherd. They fuck, and the result is you get like a really curly-haired, tall, very leggy dog. Like, and the dog can jump
So you
up
like
on
your
me,
dog
and
like
it's as tall
guys
as
like
me.
their women. Gotcha.
Yeah. I like the soft. Yeah, that's close to what mine looked like. Mine was fully just the tan color on the legs, Very intelligent dog. Very smart dog. This dog will get into everything. It's also a dog that just loves to love. I don't know if it's me. When I had it as a puppy, I would just have it in my lap constantly because I didn't want it to piss on the floor, and I was responsible for potty training it, so I was just holding my lap constantly, you know. But they're very infectious. Like they love affection, or at least this dog loves
I
affection.
swear, everything with poodle in it is named by the same exact person that made Walkie Talkie. Everything's a doodle. Everything's a doodle. It's fucking hilarious. It's like, oh yeah, this. It's fucking hilarious.
It
It
is
makes
funny.
no fucking sense.
Doodle's a cool thing, I guess. It's a cool word. I don't know.
Dude, I just had too much fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really have. Everything's a fucking doodle now. There's golden doodles, shit doodles, shep doodles. The fuck? How many more doodles are there going to be? I thought we were
As
trying to get
many
rid
as
of
they
the
can
devil's curly hair.
crossbreed. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I thought we were trying to get rid of the devil's curly hair. I try to, at least. My fucking afro's horrible.
I don't really have curly hair except for like when my hair grows out. Then like it curls
This
up
is right
at this
after my
length.
shower. Once it dries out, I get a fucking fro so badly. It's ridiculous.
Like
I
a
had an
big
afro so
fro.
bad it was like this in
Oh,
seventh
wow.
grade. Yeah.
It's a big fro.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes I used to make in 7th and 8th grade that I absolutely cannot make now. But yeah, there's a lot of jokes that I used to make. They were good.
Good jokes. I
Yep.
will take your word for it.
Yep. So, where the fuck? Oh yeah, movie series that you would tell people not to watch. I'm fucking horrible at watching movies. It's funny. We talked about literally one of my favorite movies. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I can't sit down to watch a movie to save my fucking life. My attention span is fucking zero. If it's not me interacting with the thing, I can't fucking do it. So I have no idea how the fuck you watch this many movies all at once.
I mean, I can tell a sign of a good movie by how easy it is for me to watch and pay attention to it. I understand. You're like, it's hard to sit through a movie. It's hard to get attention.
Do you try and predict what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Because once I get one of those, once I get it right, I cannot fucking finish the movie because I already know how it's gonna end.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of movies made within like the past, even just like 10 years, not the most best movies I've ever seen. Like there is some big franchises that are just doozies to sit through, like Transformers, for example. Overrated movie, especially the later ones. They suck, and it's just like a slog to sit through. So I understand.
My favorite Transformers is the one everybody hates, which is the funny part.
Which one is that?
The Revenge of the Fallen. It's the second one.
Oh yeah, that one is the best one, I think.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
That's where my gamer tag came from. The Fallen.
There was the first one, which was good. The second one, which was better, and then it just went downhill. And the fifth one is just egregious, and it's just product placement. It just seems like an excuse for product placement. A bunch of people standing around. Oh, hey, let's get paid to just stand around and talk to each other and quip at each other. Wow.
About history that now includes robots instead of guys in armor.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
It's just so much talking to each other on screen, and I feel like a lot of movies, like a lot of some patterns that I notice with movies, either they can be talking movies, which is good if it's written well and it's like compelling. Like, okay, cool, I'll listen to these people talk. Like the Sunset Limited, for example. It's just two actors, Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones, and they're having like a philosophical debate, and it's just them
about what the good curse word is.
Huh?
About what a good curse word is. Motherfucker is obviously a choice.
Exactly. It's so the premise is Tommy Lee Jones's character, he wants to unalive himself, so he does that in front of the Sunset Limited. But we have Samuel L. Jackson's character. He saves that man, and then they get Samuel L. Jackson's character takes him to his house, but the only thing that's shown on screen is like his house, and everything is explained in dialogue. But the way it's done, it's just so well done, and it's great. You can have
That sounds
movies
like
like
something
that.
that would drive me up a fucking wall.
It's
I would get so I would be so disinterested. I would have been scrolling Twitter within 10 minutes.
Are you into like philosophical debates?
Absolutely, but I'd rather have the philosophical debate than sit there and listen to the wall while I hear about how somebody wants to unalive themselves and
I
somebody
mean,
trying to
that
talk
makes
them out of it.
sense.
I would
That makes
rather try and
sense.
talk them out of trying to unalive themselves than have to hear about somebody trying to do it while looking at a wall.
Well, that makes sense. So I get that. So there's movies like that, right, where you can just watch somebody having a dialogue. I personally really like that. It's the Sunset Limited. I feel like a lot of movies lately that I've seen that are just like mid, they don't really know how to do the dialogue right that is compelling, or it's like maybe too cheesy, and then the action just feels like, oh, you gotta have some sort of action here. Just put some action here. Actually, it's gonna happen here, and it's not really compelling. So a lot of movies that I've been watching, there's not like there's not a lot of there's a lot of 6 and 7 movies. 5,
Mm-hmm.
6, and 7 movies, I'd say. Very few 8s and 9s, very rare 10. And then like a ton of like let's say 3 to 5 movies. This is in my rating order from 1 to 10. So
Seems like
actually.
everything that I've kind of loved in like the past 15 years has all been TV shows other than The Dark Knight and Deadpool and like
Yeah,
Fast
TV
and
shows are
Furious
great.
6. Everything else has been shit.
Yeah, I haven't like been caught up on many TV shows, although I have started on doing Star
Gotham,
Trek.
fantastic.
Mm. Yeah, it's a. I feel like TV shows have more room to breathe to tell the story of a character, like
Mm-hmm.
than a movie does. Because a movie, you have to establish like a 3-act structure. You have to establish the characters, and then you have to establish the big bad, and then you have to establish the big bad going after the characters, and then how the characters triumph over the big bad, and then that's end closed story. It's just
Yeah.
like one journey, right? Versus a TV show, like with you can have like a look at a character an episode and have like a main A plot or a B plot main just go through the entire season, but you get like more. I feel like you get more details within a TV season. I mean, a TV episode within a season than like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's more room for like
And there's a
growth.
lot of movies that just kind of feels like, oh, it's just a long TV episode.
Yeah,
And they don't
exactly.
necessarily flesh it out more. They don't give you any more story or any more detail. It's just like they just elongate everything. They turn it up to fucking 11 for the transfer scenes, and that's it. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason, there's like a 12-minute part in this movie where they're like trying to use all the time that just doesn't make sense. Like, oh, that was just a really boring part that didn't do anything for the story. It's like downtime, but it made it
We just
worse.
drove for 20 minutes. That's all. That's the only difference. We're in a different location now. We drove.
They just
It's just
needed something to pad the time
Mm-hmm.
of the movie.
Yeah. If you're trying to like actually make a rich story, why are you padding time?
oh, because they
Exactly.
got approved for an hour and a half instead of 12 hours. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they still want movie two.
I don't get sequels. I mean, before I started doing like daily movie reviews and watching a bunch of movies, watching sequels to movies, I always thought, and because like this was like colloquially, I would like hear this. People would be like, "Oh, sequels are terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Never even go see a sequel ever." And so I always thought, oh, sequels must suck, right? And then I watch movies like you have Star Wars and you got Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, which is arguably, which I think is a better movie than the first Star Wars, the 1977. But um, then you have movies like Terminator, like, and then Terminator 2 is a better movie than the first one. Back to the Future 2 is a better movie than the first one, in my opinion. And then I'm like, why is it that people are telling me that sequels suck when, like, is it just a bunch of, like, sequels from the 2000s or 90s to the 2000s to the mid-2010s? Are those sequels just suck? And that's why everyone says that sequels suck?
Could be
Have you ever
recency
noticed?
bias.
I think it's not
Could
only
be
recency bias.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people all of a sudden know exactly where it's going, so they just want to write it off because they already assume what the hell's going to happen. Like, I remember seeing a lot of shit with the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and everything else. They're like, oh, well, we know what's going to happen. Why would we give a fuck? Or Fast and the Furious after, like, Tokyo Drift. Everybody's like, Tokyo Drift's a shit movie. Everything after that's even worse. It's just, accepting money at that point. And are they
Although, I
wrong?
would say-
No, but it's
Yeah.
steps.
I would say on Fast and Furious, my personal opinion is that it peaks at 5. Actually, no, it peaks at 7. And then goes downhill. Do you know the story behind the scenes story with The Rock and Vin Diesel had a feud? They hated
Where they
each other.
where they didn't want to film with each other and they hated each other.
Yeah, that's what made 8 so bad. They refused to film with each other, and so, like, having to write around them not being on screen with each other was just, wow, it was so bad. Like,
But
I think I lost faith in that series after watching that.
The shitty part is at the end of, I believe it's 6, where they have The Rock and Tyrese and Ludacris ad-libbing back and forth and just doing everything off the cuff. So fucking good. That is where, that's all you had to have them do. Just be funny and pop jokes and just be lighthearted. And The Rock hits home runs. Just let The Rock hit a home run. That's all you had to do. Yeah, you need some baby oil for that forehead. Got him. That's all you had to do. It's not fucking complicated. It's not hard. The Rock hits home runs. That's why he's the biggest movie star in the world right now.
Yeah. He just goes. He goes. Although, man, I have seen all of the Rock movies up to, like, whatever came out.
Now, this episode is sponsored by Bluechew. Let's talk about sex. Guys, remember the days when you were ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed, just like everything else that sponsors this podcast. Brings you up to that next level. Listen up, Bluechew.com. Bluechew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. It's amazing. You can absolutely just pay shipping and handling for that first shipment, and you get 3 for free. Just pay $5 in shipping. You can take them anytime, day or night. And if you take the Cialis one, which I believe is tadalafil, you get 36 hours worth of this medication working. It's not just once, man. The process is simple. Sign up at Bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers. They even make sure that it's safe and healthy for you to take. The best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And they're made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet package. Does it work? Absolutely. You will feel like a god. You will feel like you are absolutely focused only on one thing, and that's getting her in bed. So, as always, Go have some fun. Take some Bluechew. Enjoy yourself. We got a special deal for our listeners. Try Bluechew for free when you use the promo code RMTS at checkout. Just pay the $5 shipping. That is bluechew.com/promo code RMTS for your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Bluechew for sponsoring the podcast. They want to help you have better sex. We want to help you have better sex. Discover your options at Bluechew.
After last February, actually, last year I did the Rock Month, and he has so many movies, and so many of them he's
Sounds
not
like a
really
rock hard month.
I was so flaccid during the watching of these movies. They're not that interesting. Well, some of them are. Like I'm kind of being general. Generally, they're kind of mid. There's some that are better.
There's always
than
high
others.
points. There's like one
Yeah.
joke where he's like, yeah, I'm hard today. Or, oh, fuck. Can you smell what the Rock's cooking? Give him an eyebrow as the camera pans in. There's always like that one joke where it's like, yeah, okay, the entire movie's saved. Wasted an hour and a half for a dumb Rock joke. That's all I wanted. I giggled now. I'm good. I can turn it off. That's all it's there for.
I feel like they're so forgettable. They're so
Like,
forgettable, except for
movies like
Jungle
San
Cruise.
Andreas and shit like that. Like, there's so many movies where it's like one joke was worth the entire movie, and I don't remember any of it anymore.
It's just him saving a bunch of people in San Andreas in a helicopter, and then more destruction porn. That's what that movie is. That's it. That's literally it.
It's a better 2012 or a better Day After Tomorrow. It's just with The Rock instead of with a whole bunch of people nobody gives a fuck about.
It's true. Actually, yeah, I think I would have liked The Rock in 2012. I want him to be everyone. We need more. We need multiple of The Rocks. Actually,
The Rock should just take the place of that big-tittied, big-assed fucking redhead chick from Jurassic World. He should just take her place. It would be a better movie.
It would. So much better.
Even if he just treated himself as a female the entire movie, it would be a better movie. Watching him and Chris Pratt bounce off each other would be great.
What if he was just like dressed as a chick?
Dressed
like,
in drag, yes.
Dressed in drag, but he's clearly The Rock. He's so buff, right? And he's just
Speaking
doing
of
his girl
that,
voice. Yeah.
Did you see John Cena has an OnlyFans?
I heard.
And
once
the background of his OnlyFans, I didn't click on it. I clicked on the webpage originally, didn't click in to see what the hell was going on. He's dressed in drag for the background of his OnlyFans.
that's
I think he may be hoping that everybody doesn't see him, but John, we could see you. You didn't do the hand thing yet.
Oh, I get it. The thing, yeah. It took me a second to get it. That's cool.
It's fucking weird.
It is weird,
it makes
but it's
no
whatever.
sense.
Naturally, it does make sense. Money.
Yes, but I think this is the thing that a lot of YouTubers get into. What is doing something for a money grab and what is doing it because it makes sense? John Cena on OnlyFans doesn't fucking make sense.
I think that is the point, is that it doesn't make sense and people are going to be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So promotes it and gets more money.
How much more money can he make with that?
I
know OnlyFans is like money, but John Cena OnlyFans is that money.
I don't know, like, what the female, if there's like a big female audience on OnlyFans. I don't know.
I heard it's all like dudes. Like if you're a guy with an OnlyFans, you get like 90% dudes that want that content.
Yeah, I don't see chicks like going to OnlyFans unless they really want to see John Cena naked or something.
And is he even doing like hard naked content, or is it just kind of like
or funny
Yeah, like is it just John Cena in like a lewd dress, but we don't see his twig and berries? Like, who's paying for that?
I remember. I think it was two different people I had this conversation with. I was like, yeah, I would have OnlyFans content if it was just me by myself for like 4 days. And then I would be completely lost and have zero idea what to do at all ever after that. I have like 3 good angles in a mirror, not in a mirror, and video. What more do you want? I have 4 days.
Yeah, you can bust like 2 loads and then you're done for the month.
Exactly. My name's Hollowed Zach. You absolutely cannot see the temperature or the viscosity of this. We're done now. Sorry, it just doesn't work. I just
It's just for 4 days. That's how long
yeah,
it
just
would
4 days.
last.
That's it.
Okay. What would you do after those 4 days? Would you just
I would
abandon it forever?
yeah, what are you gonna do?
I go to a different location. Go
Oh,
to a different corner of the room. Go to like outside or something. Well, not on OnlyFans. That's against the terms of service.
But how many different ways do women want to see a dude come for them to be like, yeah, that's a thing?
I don't know if women want to see
Exactly.
dudes
Yeah.
come.
all right.
That's mostly a guy thing. I
Yeah.
think.
But okay, but then like,
Exactly.
how many corners of the room does my dick look good in until you're just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got a big ass
I
head.
could
I could block out a lot of light. There's a problem here.
There's so many ways to get creative.
Oh
There's
man.
corners of the room, camera
Do we have to do
angle.
Cosdick? Is that what you're telling me? Is that the only answer to being able to do OnlyFans as a dude? You have to do Cosdick.
What is cosdick? Like cosplay?
Cosplay on your penis.
Yeah.
Are you not aware of the subreddit? The subreddit's
No,
fucking
I'm not.
fantastic.
I'm not on Reddit. Oh well, I
Good.
don't really use Reddit. But what is this?
Yeah. It's Cos penis, I believe. I don't remember exactly what it was when Kyle brought it up. Cos penis. Let's see.
So
Oh,
you
yep.
just dress up
R/cos
penis.
penis. You dress up your penis. I'm not going to look very far into this, and I'm not going to scroll because producing a show. But that's cos penis. Yeah. So that's what you're saying is the answer is just dressing up your dick in different ways. That's how you.
And dressing
One.
up yourself a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
you
would
can
get.
like do different like cosplay scenarios too. Like
I feel like
maybe
the
you're Robin Hood, and you're like half
or
your
Jabba the
shirt's
Hutt.
halfway. Yeah, exactly. And your shirt's like halfway off, and you're just wiener's just there. And you
Guys
like,
don't
take it
think
off.
about that though.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, you gotta look at chicks and see. Just take what they do.
Just copy chicks. That's the formula.
Just copy chicks. Yeah. And
Never
you're a
have guessed.
guy, so it's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's my advice.
No, it's fucking hilarious. I was like, yeah, I don't. How many more different things you want to see? That's all I got. I got like a couple good
Mhm.
angles. That's it.
Yeah, but also as like I don't seek any of that content, but there's people that do, and they will come back every single day for like the same pose in a different dress. So I
Oh,
just don't have the brain to figure it out.
I loved saying this on stream, and everybody gets fucking confused. They're like, "Oh, Zach, when are we going to see your dick? You could have seen my dick already. It's been deleted like 5, 6 times now. You could have. You missed it." And they're like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, it's been on OnlyFans. It's been on Reddit. You just had to look for it. You just never will see it again. It's okay." And everybody's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's gone.
It's
You had your
gone.
chance."
You know that thing that people say, the internet, you can never delete anything off the internet? This is actually false in this case.
No, it really is quite false. People just don't realize. It depends on how many eyes it's seen by.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It
Can't
seems like that
Strideman
level's
affect
like
it.
15, 20,000 viewers. It kind of disappears. Anything lower than that.
Hmm.
That Reddit account was going to get sponsored by sex toy companies. It's fucking hilarious nowadays.
That's cool. You have
Yeah.
all the sex toys you want. But
It
what
would have been great, but
variety?
no. Yeah.
Hmm.
So is that why you switched from art to OnlyFans? Is because you could kind of dictate what you wanted to do and kind of be able to see different things in different ways from other people?
Well, I'm still doing art. I used to like do like art streams, and like would work at like a job, just like a 9 to 5 job, and that was like not making. I wasn't able to like live off of that. It was like I was pretty much struggling with that, and I wasn't getting many commissions with art at the time, and so I was like, well, I'm kind of known on the internet at this point. When I decided to make an OnlyFans, I was like, I don't want to burn my hands anymore, and I don't want to like, I don't want to risk my hands getting like injured, never being able to draw again. So
Yeah.
I like started doing the Fansly and the OnlyFans so I could be able to focus on doing art. So then like doing the daily movie reviews is like like tying into like the OnlyFans, and the OnlyFans tie
Yeah, I
into
could see.
the movie
I can see where it
reviews.
like all weaves together. That's why I was confused where it started. It's like, okay, so if you were doing art and all of that stuff, where did that change? Obviously, you still do it, but it's not the
Yeah,
number one thing that you're trying to do
yeah.
always.
Like it's just I haven't really at the point I just almost never got really any commissions. I mean, I would get a few, but they not enough to pay for the bills, and I was just like, I gotta be able to like feed myself. I gotta be able to pay for the bills. I mean, I could do art, like that is like the long term focus. Like I gotta be like to live off of drawing. That is like the long term focus. But for short term, I'm starving, and this doing art commissions isn't really going anywhere, and I don't really know a lot of people who want to commission me. So if I got bigger, then eventually I'd get like so big that I'd had a lot of art commissions come in, and that was like the idea when I first started it.
Has that worked? Have you actually gotten like more commissions because of the OnlyFans traffic?
I've had a lot of people ask for commissions at this point. My commissions are closed, but I am working on a comic book. So that is like my new shift in priority is to pivot more into comic books, while also doing the daily movie reviews and the fansly only fan stuff too.
Cool.
That's the
It's an
idea.
interesting. It's an interesting pivot, being able to just kind of turn it into something you want to do and kind of push eyes towards it now
Yeah,
because you have the eyes available.
yeah. I wanted to be able to like. I needed eyes on me, and now that I have eyes, now that I have the eyes on me, then I could do the drawing that I want. So
Yeah, using that
is
to
it?
like fund, show some titty and then
It,
make
it
a
validates.
comic. Not a bad
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. I like literally draw on stream, like draw on Fansly streams, and someone's like tips, rolls the dice. I have like a game. You just roll the dice, and you like tits ass or whatever, and then like, oh wow, the titties are out, cool. And then after that, I could just draw some more. It's pretty great. Like when
That
I was
that
doing,
actually sounds great. Yeah.
yeah, and then like when I was doing art streams on YouTube, you can't show your tits on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as
Well, it
cool.
could. It just might be gone in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I don't want my account to go banned. So
You
it's
should have been
hard
streaming
to.
on Twitch when
Yeah, you
everything
had
was
like
at
the 10 minutes where
artistic
Twitch
nudity.
allowed that.
Yeah. And it was right around the time as that
how did I
video was
miss it?
blowing up. You would have boomed real quick.
Man,
Be like,
how did I miss it?
yeah. Twitch said artistic nudity is allowed. See you there. Drawing art.
I just thought it was a trap.
Oh, it definitely was, but it was still
Yeah.
hilarious
Boogie got
that
banned
it
within
happened.
5 minutes of pulling his pants down. Couldn't see any dick. Got banned 5 minutes later.
Oof.
Fucking hilarious.
I mean, I just think that Twitch is going into the shitter.
Of course.
Personally, it looks like it's running out of money, especially with the amount of banning that they're doing to a bunch of people. And I'm like, you guys, this is not how you maintain a big business. This is how you maintain a business is to ban your top people.
Yeah,
Like
you
there
can't.
goes the traffic.
Yeah, you can't get upset at someone's opinions that they're putting out because like you have a different political view, and then ban them, and then open it up to where like the only thing that's like keeping the content going or the platform going is softcore content. But then
Yeah.
Amazon's not happy. Amazon's like, "What are you doing? We can't just make it to where this platform that allows kids is just only
All they have-
recommending titties."
All they have to do is just add Twitch After Dark. That's all they have to do.
But then that looks bad
make
for
it so we have
branding.
to age verify.
But then
No,
they lose.
it's a black little face instead of a purple one.
But then they lose
Only
everything
difference.
because like the reason why Twitch is so successful as a cam site right now
It's
is
'cause
because not
In
18
that
plus.
gray area. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that they're catering towards children?
Yeah.
I just prefer to
Gross
be on an adult
motherfuckers.
website.
Yeah.
Honestly.
but that has less
I-
audience and it's not as like.
It's actually surprising how
Huh?
much of an audience there is. Like,
Hmm.
I definitely think Fansly has a better discoverability than OnlyFans does, but there is still
Interesting.
some discoverability. I mean, you have to verify your age and everything, but
Yeah.
once you get there, there's actually like a lot of people there. I
Hmm.
think I have like 20K followers on Fansly right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, but
That's fucking insane.
there's
Yeah, I think like, oh, the only way you get that kind of discoverability is on Twitch, and then you pivot to OnlyFans. But getting naturally discovered on Fansly, that's the meta no one knows about. Go hard, I guess.
Yeah, and it's great because I started a Fansly about like I only heard of Fansly because they sponsored Creator Clash, the first one, and then I heard that I'm like, oh, cool, Fansly. Well, I'm gonna do Fansly. This was around the time that I was also like deciding on whether to quit my restaurant job to avoid my hands being burned. So just so you have the timeline. So I started Fansly, and then it was probably like within the first like they only had like started for maybe a year, and then like if I think the earlier you join, the more benefits you get because now I have like they have an FYP. It's a for you page. You can just go swipe. I have so many photos in the FYP because I just kept posting them at the earliest stages, and it's a great discoverability function in Fansly.
Interesting.
Like, also, it's interesting. Okay, so I hashtag my posts, hashtag MintSalad on Fansly. There are chicks using my hashtag for discoverability because there's like 300K views on the hashtag, and and now other girls just use the hashtag to be discovered.
That's
really
like
funny.
stealing tags on YouTube and all. Like, it's the same meta. It's the same thing. Crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
No,
And what
only
year
if
was
YouTube
this?
could fix their tags.
You said timeline, but what year did this happen?
Like May 2022, I think. Yeah, May 2022.
Just kind of like
when I
snowballing all the pandemic, all the kids just being not kids, but all the guys being inside losing their mind. Sounds
Yeah.
like a recipe for success.
Yeah, and then I just kept at it. I kept going. Never
Cool.
stopped. And then it worked out. It was nice.
And that growth has to be really fucking crazy because it seems like if you're telling me that there's a For You page and searchability like that, there isn't that on OnlyFans. Everything's kind of enclosed and there you can't fucking search for shit. Because I remember looking through the settings to close shit down before. And it's like, oh, well, you can close it down to your state. You can close it down to your town. You can close it down to a radius. That way nobody can see you. But as a whole, the fact that there's actual searchability and you're able to market yourself is so much different than what everybody says everything else is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fansly is great. I mean, I think they started their marketing being like, "Oh, just have your fan content here." It just so happens that there's porn here. We allow porn, and then
It's
just turn it to
Patreon,
porn
but
site.
18 plus is cool.
Yeah, it is like it
I
is
wonder,
like an,
I wonder if they're
Patreon
good
schooler.
for harder language. Maybe we should just start a Fansly page with fucking retard and fuck and all of the bad words you're not allowed to say on Twitch and YouTube, and just release full episodes,
That'd be interesting.
just completely uncensored.
I don't know about their policy on that. I don't know. You have to read the terms of service. But
Like-
what I do
Yo, that also
Distort-
means we could take off our shirts and just get a
Yeah.
little bit of extra
Exactly.
traffic.
Exactly. Tits for donos. That's all.
exactly.
You could really see
Plus,
why
Stakes
it's
is a
how
guy
it's at.
too. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if my tits are out there. Actually, already out there on my Facebook because I'm like going fishing. I'm on a boat going fishing. You're gonna see some male tit. It's fine.
Exactly.
The live streaming function on Fansly, there's no VOD. Like if you live stream on Fansly, no VOD. It's just continuous. It doesn't save a VOD for you, so you can. So it's great. So you can, the VOD, like how Twitch has a VOD. It just
Mhm.
saves your videos, and
And then someone clips it, sends it to your sponsors, and you lose everything.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about that with Fansly.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, they also have to pay to be there, which is also kind of different as well, which is kind of nice actually.
Also, it's nice. Fansly has you can follow for free, too, which you
Oh,
can't do on
interesting.
OnlyFans. On OnlyFans, you can either have a page that is paid, or you can have a page that is free. And on the page that is free, then you can add wallpaper views that you can like mark for a certain amount of money.
Yeah, I've
On
seen
the
those.
on the
Or like
paid
people talking about
OnlyFans,
those.
yeah, exactly. On the paid OnlyFans, you can't even put a wallpaper view. Like it's just there's no
I,
option for it.
I remember what I was doing for the page I ran. I would
Yeah.
put like 1 or 2 pictures up out of a set for free, and then once there was any nudity at all, it was paid. So that way everybody got mad and they paid because it was fucking smart and nobody was doing it yet. And I was like, this is how you do this shit, and it
Yeah.
worked every single fucking time. I don't
Hell
understand
yeah.
how it worked that well.
Humans, I guess. Humans are weird. It's human psychology.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
since I don't like use Fansly or haven't gone to any of those sites, I don't know like the algorithm discoverability in the meta. But then that makes me like, there's guys out there that are watching that content that could understand how that works, and that makes it a bit more interesting. Where it's like how niche it is, because like just being a YouTuber, that's my entire career and job at this point. So it's like
Yeah.
any other platform, it's like the
Well, that's what-
mechanics are kind of fascinating.
Before shows like PKA and Biggest Problem in the Universe and everything kind of pushed towards Patreon, that's what Patreon was it was like the pseudo gray area that was porn, and then they removed porn, and then they're like, oh, you could do semi 18 plus stuff, and then they removed that. It's weird how there is websites like Fansly, or like you're saying Fansly is, where it is that gray area again, where it's like you could do this here, you could do anything here. It just kind of depends on exactly how you're looking at it. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. I do think it's more there's a lot more options. There's a lot more options to grow on Fansly, especially with the free to follow shit. Wow. Wow. Free to follow is you can have so many followers, and then you can have a free to follow live stream, so a bunch of people can watch your live stream, but then they get
a
tip.
taste.
Yeah, they get a taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they want more, they can tip. So it's how you get them.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Go back to the fucking Call of Duty live streams in Black Ops 3 where Zoe Berger was shaking her ass after every kill cam. Burles, every time you kill a Pokemon, I want you to shake your tits on Fansly. Go.
Nah, not yet.
Yeah, I like this idea. We're not at that
Beautiful.
degenerate level yet. How about tail
No.
shaking? Does that work? Work in the
No.
furry shit?
No.
No.
I don't play on that. I try to have some amount of like not being a degenerate online. Not saying
But,
making
you
that
know-
content is like degenerate, but not for myself. I'm not going to just be like, yo, here's the nude commission of my persona. Go enjoy, guys. And now I'm going to go put the tail butt plug in and shake around for donos. That's not me. That's not me.
That makes
Shake
sense.
around for donos. No, it's every fucking kill. You get a sweep, you get 6 butt shakes.
Oh, now you think of it, I don't think I've actually seen a furry on Fansly yet. From what I've seen, I don't think I've seen a furry. It's mostly just chicks and some dudes. It's just like chicks.
All the furries on Twitter, like they post
Ah.
some wild stuff on Twitter, and then they just link to their OnlyFans.
Yeah, they just get away with everything on Twitter.
Mhm.
There's a few VTubers on Fansly, but it's just mostly chicks. So
How the fuck? What? That's the most retarded. VTubers as a whole, number one,
Mhm.
is fucking retarded. Number two, that is just Rule 34, you fucking degenerate retard. You're not anything special. There's
Mhm.
full entire subreddits about this. Nobody gives a fuck.
Or
You're-
go to Twitter, where
Yeah,
it's free.
But
You're
it might
not.
be specific. You might want something specific.
Ah,
Okay.
yes, that demon girl that's trying to just like read my name in chat.
Yeah.
That's what I live for.
It makes no sense how specifically degenerate some people are. Because you know for damn sure there are people that are going to a specific VTuber's OnlyFans, and that makes no fucking sense to me. You could put that shit into an AI and get it to plop out, and it'll be somewhat right. Females, it's still not right. I guarantee you that. We saw that shit with Taylor Swift. It's fucking doesn't make any goddamn sense.
But
She
with
sucks
AI,
on the G logo.
you might not get like those uh 3D models fucking each other videos in AI. AI won't produce that.
Yeah,
Getting there.
because that VTuber is exactly what I want to see. It's fucking it's
It's
so
doomed.
insane. Yeah, this world makes me fucking.
But it also goes back to the Twitch thing because it was like the artistic nudity. Every VTuber just immediately like somehow pulled their tits out. They just got redrawn naked. Great.
And it's just like how nobody cares. Nobody cared if you did this a week ago. Nobody cares now. Nobody gives a fuck. You are fucking weird. You are fucking weird. That's the end of the story. That's it.
Yeah.
Dudes aren't doing all right. We're not well.
You know for damn
Is
sure half
anyone?
of those VTubers are dudes with a fucking voice mod on. That's all they are.
That's what makes
Oh,
it
yeah.
extra unwell. Like if they're that thirsty where it's like, I don't care if there's like a 50-50, there's a guy behind this. I need it.
It's just like, dude, go find a goth mommy if that's what you want. Like, just go fucking be weird like a normal person. It's fucking weird. I don't understand. I really fucking don't.
Honestly, I feel like the VTuber porn models, I'm like, whatever. It's, I guess, whatever. But if it's like for like a YouTube live stream, I'd prefer a VTuber over just seeing an icon, like, of a person's name.
I think
honestly.
if somebody doesn't have enough guts to put their face on camera, nobody really should care anyway.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because why should you give a fuck about my opinion or my thoughts when you don't even give a fuck when I show my face, when I don't show my face? If I'm insulting you, if I'm throwing jokes, you should at least have the same chance I do. As a whole, you can't have a shot unless I show my face. So as a whole, there's no equality there. There's just not. It's stupid.
The anime profile guy being judgmental of the not anime profile guy. Wacky.
It goes back to my point of last episode of, those Reddit mods are really the degenerate people that we wanted to kick out of society during high school. Now all of these stupid idiots fucking listen to them, and it really confuses the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Reddit's weird. I don't use Reddit. I mean, I have a Reddit account that I have somebody run for me, but I don't use Reddit. But I think maybe when I was in high school, I looked through cactus subreddits. That was pretty much it. So I don't really know much of Reddit degeneracy.
It's mostly just like the mods will lock down anything they disagree with, even if it is productive to the discussion. And
Yep.
half the users are just brain dead, so they won't even contribute to the discussion. You can't find any good content. It's so heavily curated and moderated, it's just completely worthless.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. If I'm looking up a tech question, I'm like, oh, I gotta have a specific tech question. Google result, Reddit thread. Okay, click on that. Someone's got a similar inquiry that I got, and then the thread, the comments are like, oh, I have that same problem too. And it's like, thanks, you're not helping. Why the fuck would you comment this?
Yeah, or you reply, it's like, someone's like, oh, I fixed it. And they're like, how did you fix it? And they never reply again. The narcissism is just insane, but
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah, the episodes of the Reddit thing, we've been going on about this for a month, because I saw something on Twitter about just the most degenerate Reddit spiral, where it's a woodworking subreddit. And someone's like, hey, how do I make this joint? And a guy was like, glue it, nail it, stick it together. And then the reply under that was, boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. So
What?
someone saw, someone saw legitimate advice that had a little bit of a rhyme to it, and then they just started dropping Lord of the Rings quotes because they wanted karma over actually fucking helping people, because that's the brain rot of Reddit right now. And the rest of it was that. The rest of it was and my sword, and my axe. Bro, this is a woodworking subreddit, and the dude wants help. What's happening?
But we got to the front page of r/all. What do you want? We dethroned the magic guy who showed his ass crack on camera.
Wow, so riveting. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and also, if there's a pitbull attack, go to r/aw, and you're only going to see pitbulls, because you're not allowed to quote any kind of pitbull statistics or any kind of aggressive dog stuff, and then like that's just how weird some of the Reddit stuff gets.
The weird shit is if you go to r/politics, everything is very, very, very far left leaning. The Donald has been banned for like 5 years now,
Oh
since
yeah, I did
before he
remember hearing
won
about that.
the
Mhm.
presidency. It makes no fucking where is the equality here?
These people still exist. They still have the thoughts. They're just not allowed to be seen.
Yeah, Reddit doesn't care. It just forces
Nope.
people to go underground more. I guess under the internet iceberg. I don't
Well,
know.
now they just go to
how that
Twitter.
would work. Yeah.
Yeah, now we got Twitter back.
Oh, thank
We don't
God.
have to go tell the truth on Truth Social.
We just tell the truth on Twitter now. X.
Exactly.
I don't get the rechange from Twitter to X.
No one does. I call it Twitter, and I think anyone that says like X, formerly known as Twitter, is just being a pompous ass. Just call it Twitter.
Just call it Twitter. I call it Twitter.
It makes no fucking sense why you wouldn't just say Twitter. If you say formerly known as Twitter, you're fucking retarded. Because then you're just making it more complicated. They know where to find you if you're saying fucking Twitter.
They know what X is now because everyone said formerly known as Twitter.
Exactly. So choose one. Not fucking complicated.
I'm just thinking about all those big articles with Twitter links in them, and you can't fully change. You can't fully commit to the change of just calling it x.com. You still have to keep twitter.com because it's so heavily used in everything.
No one calls them posts. We've been calling them tweets for 15 years, so it's a tweet.
Yeah. It's not
What do you call an
whatever.
X post?
It's just called a post.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
it can't be an
not
X
creative.
post. Can't be an X post. That's a thing.
I don't like the rename of Twitter.
Everything's sad and fucked right now. I guess the best thing you can do is just make a fansly and take your bag.
Yeah.
That's the way to navigate this insane
and
shit
watch
going
Star
on.
Trek. I'm just like not even focused on modern movies anymore. Or unless someone requests me to watch a movie, then I'll do it. Like on my Patreon, I'll take movie review requests. But like right now, I'm doing Star Trek, and it's like, oh my goodness, back to when things are good. Wow, I'm really enjoying this good thing that I'm watching. You know, it's great.
Yeah, and all these trash Zoomers that are like terminally online, if you say like anything older was good because they missed out on it, they're just going to say rose-colored glasses, blinded by nostalgia. You're wrong. Everything's great now. And it's like, nah, you kids are ill. Everything was better in the past. Fuck you.
Everything was better in the past. I feel like movies peaked at like the 60s. Like with Psycho. That's a perfect movie.
I just want to go back to like 2006. Where all games were enjoyable, everything was fun, music was good.
Bro, like
nostalgia.
I feel like every year that goes by, I'm like moving it up 2 years. Where it's like, man, I'm down with 2013 again. Fuck, give me 2016 again.
Exactly. Like I would be anytime in between like 2005 and like 2015. Any of those times I'd kind of be okay. But let me go back knowing what I know now, and I will fucking do things that nobody will expect. Just like I'm sure you would. You would be right back into right before your prime and be able to fucking explode.
No, like the thing is, my prime was then, and then everything shifted out of my prime, and I have no control of that. I do the exact same thing.
It's a completely different landscape. Like everything's so different within like even 5 years or even 10 years, 15 years. Everything just keeps
the crazy thing is like
so fast.
COVID is 4 years ago.
Oh, that was 4 years ago? I remember
2020.
what happened.
Exactly. It's like,
oh my goodness.
And I think about this with YouTube videos because you see a YouTube video, it's like uploaded 7 years ago. That was 2017. YouTube videos were starting to get high quality in 2017. You think of a 7-year-old YouTube video, it's going to be like shit, but no, that's actually like still very good and watchable. 7 years.
7 years.
And
like,
it feels weird.
It does feel
weird. It feels weird looking at that shit. You'll be like, okay, oh, that was 10 years ago?
And it's a good quality video? What? Has production value 10 years ago? That's not good.
The ones that always confuse me are like the things that I would watch as like a senior or a junior in high school. Like I'd go back and watch Mail Monday and be like, okay, I'll listen to something as I'm playing games or whatever. Oh, why the fuck does that say 15 years ago? What the fuck is this world? I don't
Oh, we're
fucking
getting too
understand.
old.
Why is there
Well,
no good content to watch now except for a 15-year-old video?
Yeah.
It's true. You know, I find it. I find watching a movie like or something old, maybe even 2010. That's not old. Watching
That is
something
old.
from the 2010s, and like I remember the picture quality when I watched it back in 2010. I was like impressed. I was like, oh my goodness, look, it's a 1080p. We're finally getting it. Look, it looks so cool. And then I watched the same 1080p like TV or something, but it's still like 2020 or something. Like the same TV that I got new, and now it just like looks like trash. I'm like, wow, how does this thing that I remember looking good look like trash
Yep.
now? And it's like, oh, because everything has gotten higher in resolution, and
The,
so this
the thing that really
1080p,
fucks with you is going back
yeah,
and looking at playing like a PS2 game. Play that on your computer and see how different it looks playing it on your computer instead of the tube TV you used to play on. It really fucking confuses you and blows your mind, especially if you go back to like N64 where it's polygons. You'll be like, they don't line up. You could see a gap there. Why the fuck did I think this looked good? I remember one of the clips that went viral before. My daughter, she's like, Dad, show me one of your favorite games. Show me Zelda Ocarina of Time. I want to try it. Oh my god, this looks horrible.
I mean, it's easy to pull up the pixel comparison because that
It
that
just
really like sells it.
Yeah, no, it's so weird and so different to kind of see the difference. Hold on, let me open this. Oh, it's the same fucking thing.
Like everyone's seen this, but it's good to just kind of like
Yeah,
remind and have a visual aid as to what's being discussed if Zach can pull it up.
I was getting there.
Yeah. Where like actually because of the CRT it would blur the pixels and smear it together and somehow give it higher resolution. But then if you're just going off the raw pixels, it looks like trash and on modern hardware.
no,
It's
I
just
didn't know this.
it's
Oh,
so
good.
weird to kind of see those things and see the difference in them. I saw Wings playing fucking Tomb Raider 1, I believe. I guess it was just remastered or they released a patch for it or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, look, here's it upgraded, here's it downgraded." And I'm like, "I would rather just play it downgraded." It looked so fucking bad in that upgraded fucking new look. They're like, "How the fuck do you get this picture? Off, on, off, on." And it's like a chiseled fucking marble picture where the picture looked better than Laura Croft. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" It
You know
literally
that
makes no sense.
that makes sense. Honestly, that reminds me of also the Master Chief Collection did this too. Uh, with the Chief Collection, they released remakes of the first and second one, and they had an
Mhm.
option where you can flip between the styles of them, and it's so completely different. And I think in those ones specifically, I like the remakes of them more, especially the second Halo. Like it looks great from like back when I played it in 2014. Uh, but then there's like other remakes that don't look as good. I think I played a remake of Uncharted that had that feature, and honestly, I like the old Uncharted more. It's
Stuff's
The,
just weird.
something about it is
the
cozy.
the one that gets me is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is the best looking Call of Duty game out of all of them.
Yes, 100% agree.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the new Modern Warfare 3, all of them look slightly shittier than the original 2009 Modern Warfare 2. They just look bad.
How do you get there? How do you not just
You
upgrade or
get in your own
something?
head and then you make something like Pokemon Legends instead of just like going back to what was good and working.
Yeah, just ask the hey customers, what do you want to play?
No, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
We're
that.
buying. Yeah, we're
Don't-
buying stuff. You know, we're
That's
buying.
how you get skill based matchmaking.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
true. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess you could just see what the customers are buying and make more of that.
That
I'm
doesn't
not a
work. That's
business
how you get
person
skill
though.
based matchmaking.
Oh god.
Skill based
also that's
matchmaking,
when
they added because it kept people in the game longer.
Well, also that's when the devs again they just like lose their mind where it's like 20 million sales. Wow, we must have, like, we need to keep innovating. We need to keep doing crazier and better, bigger stuff because that's what got us to 20 million sales. It's like, no, just make the good shit that always worked, and that's how you got 20 million sales. It's just weird. Also, really quick, going back to like the YouTube videos, like looking at a decade-old video or something, like a 480p video was much higher quality back in the day, and it can't be explained. Because I used to watch like those Japanese game shows where they have someone in like a green suit on a green background holding up, and like you can't see them the first time, it looks like magic. And then you go back and watch the video, it's like clearly outlined, clearly all like choppy and shit. I'm like, there was no way I was able to get fooled by this at any point unless like some shenanigans are going on. Like maybe YouTube server changes, maybe actual like source video degradation. That shit was higher quality in the past, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I think I
The
do know.
quality levels are different now too.
Yeah, like there's also like different ways of transmitting data. Like in like the 50s and 60s, there's like a different way of transmitting data that actually made it more the video like more clear.
Yeah, source broadcasting had quality.
It
Yeah.
seems like the 480p videos back in the day, you could actually watch them. If your phone
Mhm.
resorts to fucking 240 or 480 now, you're like, why the fuck does it look like I drug my nuts across an N64 game and there's pixels left?
Yeah, I don't digital compression maybe. I don't know.
Either that or people are really, really bad at mixing their videos now and they're just dragging AI over fucking everything.
I mean, yeah.
Because all of
maybe.
these people using smoothers on fucking everything
Mhm.
literally takes the detail out of fucking everything. It's horrible.
Yeah, I've never really used a smoother before on like videos. I don't really get the appeal of that. I guess it's just also lighting as well. There's a lot of factors to the like quality of a video.
Mhm.
But
No,
yeah,
it had to be the brightness of your screen too. This is insane.
Bro, back
I
in
saw this with no
2009, that was
audio.
magic. Yeah, I think it could also be brightness because you had like the fucking weird cables that you had to screw in, and it was like a 720p monitor. So that with less brightness on a 720p monitor, like you couldn't see those guys the
Yep.
first couple times you watched it. But now
Oh,
you can.
like
what
not
am I watching
perfectly.
here?
They're playing soccer.
What they're using their hands. You can't do that. It's soccer.
Ah, it's Shaolin soccer. They're playing Mortal Kombat.
Shaolin soccer, you don't even use your hands. You use your feet. It's just like you have a bunch of hand stuff going on, and then you use your feet, and that's how you get all your power. I watched it recently. I watched Shaolin soccer recently. It was pretty cool.
I didn't even know Shaolin soccer was a thing. I only knew of the fatality from Liu Kang in the fuck is that game? Shaolin Monks. He
Oh.
kicks the dude's head up and then
Mhm.
does a backflip and kicks the dude's head through his body.
Shaolin Soccer is a movie. I'd compare it to the same silliness level as Kung Fu Hustle. Have you seen that?
I watch like
it's-
2 movies a year, if
That
that.
makes sense.
Yeah, I can't watch
watched-
movies. It's bad.
I have so many movies I've seen, and I'm just like, I'd prefer Star Trek now.
I legitimately would have a worse life having your job than I do currently.
Well, each their own, I guess.
That's like the cool thing. Everyone can fill their own niche, and that's what I love about the internet. I discovered this
Yeah.
like over a decade ago, where it's like I'm just going to talk Pokemon. Oh wait, I have infinite potential. Anyone can make anything on the internet,
Yep.
whether it's like software programs or their own niche or business or an Etsy. Like everyone has the potential to do what they want through the internet and monetize it. And not a lot of people take that opportunity, but those who do,
Like,
only respect.
think about it logically. Like, what, 20 years ago? Not even 20 years ago. You could probably go a little bit sooner, but like 20 years ago, how many people have you heard, oh, they had neck surgery and they are doing completely fine? Most of the time, those people have fucking nothing going for them. They're falling apart. They're not able to get anything back together. Most people with fucking depression and fucking ADHD couldn't do a normal job, let alone anybody with physical shit.
Yeah. The internet is, I guess, it's helpful for.
It's a great equalizer.
It is a great equalizer. It's a good way to get people who normally wouldn't participate in society to participate in this in the economy and society, and I guess it's a sub society. Would you consider internet a sub society?
It's become culture. It's changing and warping society way too much. Like, it used to be a niche thing, like, oh, internet culture, but no, now this is just society. Every kid has a phone in their hands, so it's affecting everything.
And slowly, like, you have 4chan culture expanding and becoming the thing, and that's been fucking retarded. Especially with how degenerate everybody's slowly become. Like, everybody now wears their kinks on their sleeve like everybody used to wear their feelings, and it's fucking weird and confusing.
It is. It's interesting to hear that that 4chan is becoming more popular. I remember, like, when I first came on the internet, I never really heard of 4chan until I started using Tumblr in 2014, and then there was the 4chan raid of the year after that. It was like July 4th, 2015, and I just remember people like complaining about it, and they're like, "Oh, the 4chaners are evil. They're the most evil thing ever." And then I don't know, like, watch some videos on 4chan, like not on the platform 4chan, but on YouTube. Watch videos about 4chan, like, because
I didn't hear
don't know
about
what this is.
4chan until Milo started talking about it all the time.
I mean,
I
but
don't
back
even
in the day,
think about it.
4chan was magic. Like, when they found the that flag that was just in the middle of the field using
Oh, the
flight
Shia LaBeouf
tracking.
one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I watched
That
some
shit was
videos on
interesting
that.
as hell.
That's
Yeah.
actually what
Yeah.
you lived for back in the day. Where it's like, what bad person or what weirdo did 4chan catch today? Holy crap, they did it.
I don't know if 4chan's catching anyone today.
No, it all just like fell apart because it got too woke, and then everyone's terminally online and just weird stuff.
Oh, well, what's the point of 4chan then? It's just like another Twitter
Exactly.
now, right?
Yeah.
Twitter, it's another Reddit.
Twitter's another Reddit. Oh,
4chan's another Reddit. All they're trying to do is send a whole bunch of people to jail. That's all they're doing. Hate mobs. That's it.
sounds
Fucking
very
weird
rude.
people.
Very rude of them, and they have way too much time on their hands. Personally, that's what my opinion is. You do that, too much time on your hands. Do something else. Be productive. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to get this link. So my life has been absolute dog shit my entire fucking life. So I normally end off the video, the podcast, with telling a story.
Okay.
You can choose any of these except the first one because that one's being saved for PK, but I had to write it because, chronological order and ADHD and OCD and all of that shit. So you can feel free to choose one of those and I will tell whatever one you want me to tell.
Let's see.
He's got some
Swing
good
for these.
ones.
What are the
Yeah,
green
there's-
ones mean?
The green ones are ones that I've told once.
Okay.
It's just so I kind of keep a normal, ideal of what's been said and what hasn't been said. And I have like 50 or 60 more that I have to add to this that I haven't added yet.
I should have a list like this too, actually. This is a really good
Hmm.
idea.
It was a great way to organize.
Yo, that's
myself.
actually like a Fansly donation perk. $50 pull from the list.
Yep.
Tell me about your story about you almost dying.
Okay, so
Which one? I imagine Zach has like 20 of those.
well, I know what one this one is, but
Mhm.
as a whole, there's the one where, I was threatened to be shot twice. I've been stabbed. But this is the one where I drowned. So we ended up going to Utah to go see my godmother, who's my mom's ex-girlfriend. And she was like very, very involved with our family, but she ended up leaving probably like 6-7 months after my brother passed away and then my grandmother passed away. And she's like, "Hey guys, I'm moving to Utah. That's where they accept me. I'm a lesbian. I need to be okay." So about a year later, we haven't seen her for a bit, and my mom's like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Karen. We're gonna go out to Utah." I don't know why she thought it was a good idea to bring her second grader and my sister would have been like 3 on an 8-hour flight at the time, but it was fun. So back in the day, this was after 2001, so it was after 9/11, but we got on one of those shitty planes where it only had 2 prop propellers to go from upstate New York to New York City. And then when we transferred to New York City, we got on an actual plane. I don't know why we just didn't drive down to New York City, but retards. And I was sitting there playing Pokemon Blue on my blue Game Boy. And I sat my Game Boy down in my bag and took out a snack. And I went to grab my Game Boy and it fucking wasn't there. The bitch behind me fucking stole it. And my mom wasn't a loud enough person to fucking be like, give me that back. That's not yours. So I lost a fucking Game Boy. That would be probably a couple $100 now, but that's shitty as a whole. Then we got to Utah and it was like late at fucking night. And Utah is one of the weirdest fucking places you could ever be. Other than Salt Lake City, it is literally 5 minutes out of the city. Everything is just desert. There's fucking nothing there. It's just craters with cities in them. And
a town is a gas station and a hotel.
Which is weird because I live in a small fucking town to begin with. I was told, oh, well, this is small town America. No, there's 20,000 people that live here. That is the second you get out of the town, there is nothing. There's no houses even. It's just dirt road. So during the day, we went to go watch her play softball. And this was the hottest day I've ever felt in my life. And I've been to Florida. I've been there. And I've been in upstate New York where it's humid as fuck. It was 115 and I was wearing a black shirt and I fucking got dehydrated in about an hour and everybody was throwing Gatorade bottles at me. And I felt like the shittiest feeling I've ever felt in my life. Like I felt like I was going to pass out. It was bad. Just the grossest fucking heat ever. Probably because of the salt lake that's there, I would assume that probably affects humidity and gross and stickiness and everything else. So she took us to this fucking hotel. I think it was like the Four Seasons or something. And my mom looks at us and like, yeah, Zach, you want to go swimming? It's like 10 o'clock at night. There's an in-ground pool behind the hotel. Let's all just go swimming. This is where it gets really funny because things still haven't changed. I didn't get told in what second grade, like 7, 8 years old, that there's a drop off inside the pool. They just didn't tell me that. So like, yeah, Zach, go ahead, get in the pool. I can't fucking swim. Can't fucking swim. Never fucking learned. So they're like, yeah, go get in the pool. They're getting my sister ready to get in the pool, hang out and everything else. I walked to about 3 feet and I fucking slipped because it went from like 3 feet to 8 feet. And there was no in between. It was just a fucking slant.
Oh, one
and
of
my
those.
feet slipped.
Yeah, one of those ones.
See, not one of them like, oh, you can tippy toe it down.
Nope. No, it literally was like a step almost.
Mm-hmm.
And my foot slipped as the fucking step went. And I just went bloop under the water. Normally you'd think that shit would float. But no, this piece of shit sure as hell didn't. Fucking sunk right to the bottom of the fucking pool. And then everything went black. Weirdest fucking feeling in my life. Everything's just black and I get yanked and that's all I feel. I can't see anything. Everything's fucking gone. And then I get thrown on the fucking concrete. My godmother jumped in the fucking pool to save my ass because I'm fucking sinking like a rock. Mm-hmm. And I spit up a shit ton of fucking water and all I remember is like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Like I can put the pieces together because logically I can understand what the fuck happened, but I don't fucking know how the fuck I go from sliding into the pool and being a piece of shit that sinks to getting slapped on the fucking concrete. But it just went black and went lights and I was walking towards the light at fucking 8 years old because I guess I was dying. I don't fucking know. But it's weird considering I was suicidal at that time, which makes that story even worse. But yeah, so that's how I died in Utah almost. That was the first time I drowned.
But you came back.
Yeah. I didn't want to at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to. Oh, okay.
So I had suicidal ideation from the time I was 4 until the time I was 28.
Okay. Well, that's a long period of time. That's like 24 years.
Yeah. I have one of the worst fail records of anybody in the world.
Well, if you fail, you have to
Then
fail
I
a lot in
succeeded
order to
in life.
succeed. Yeah, you just have to keep on
Yeah, I just
failing.
failed at wanting to kill myself. It was a really weird kind of mind game that if you think about it, it's good, but it's also bad.
I don't like to think about things. I don't have a brain.
That's the answer. That's the truest answer.
Yeah, I just don't want to
Smooth brain, thoughts slide right off. I happy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Ugh. And then the next summer she came back. And if you look at the list, I'll just throw this one in there because I think it's funny. What's funny is I started talking to her recently. Is me and my next door neighbor. He had fucking red hair and was like 200 pounds and in 6th grade. This motherfucker was a big ass motherfucker. Like one of the fat kids, that's pushing like 150 pounds when you shouldn't be. See, she runs up and talks all the fucking time. She beat the fucking shit out of him because me and him were getting in fist fights. So she comes home from Utah. It's like, oh, that's the kid that's picking on you, Zach? She pulled up, rolled out of her car like a fucking gang fight, and just threw him on the ground and started beating the fucking shit out of him.
Nice.
A 6th grader, 30-year-old woman beating the shit out of a 6th grader. I don't understand where this shit comes from at all at this point because honestly, it doesn't make sense as like an adult. I was like, the fuck? How the fuck do you do that? So she beats the shit out of him. He runs inside, runs away. He comes back outside with a metal baseball bat.
Oh. That's
And
an
you
escalation.
hear his mom rip the door open. Mark, what the fuck you doing? He's like, that angry lesbian beat the shit out of me and I really don't know where she went. So this dude had angry nightmares about lesbians for like a good probably 5 or 6 months. Then a couple years ago, funny thing is, after my mom and my stepdad broke up, my stepdad dated his mom for like a good 2 months. Had no idea that, the lesbian that he was afraid of was my mom's ex-girlfriend. We'll see you fucking later. Check out the sponsors. Check out Bluechew. Check out Gfuel. Use code RMTS at checkout. And if I'm too lazy, there's a giveaway in the comments. Make sure to go look for it because there will be code somewhere. See you fucking later.